Hey there! Now let's see what are some of the tools that you can implement and have in your phone ready to be used when you most need them. What I've found for myself and my students is that we don't know what's the best efficient way to look a word up when we need it. When we're in a conversation and we have to go to Google Translator, so we have to go to Google Chrome and then look for the site and then look for the word. And then second, we're not sure if we can trust Google Translate or just Google in general, right? So I'm going to give you two things. First, the right tools, and second, how to use them and why. Okay? Today we're going to see how to set up your keyboard in English and how you can use it for your benefit. So let's start. We go to Ajustes or Tools or Settings, and we try to find the keyboard that we have in our phone. In my case, it's here in Texto, and I use Gboard. You may use another, but they are all the same at the end. So you go to Gboard, and first of all, I select languages. So here you can see that I have 3 languages, but you can have as many as you want. I don't recommend having many because then the keyboard will mess things up. Okay, sometimes when I'm writing in Spanish, it goes to French if the words are too similar. But I recommend you to have Spanish and English. If you have a third language, it's okay. Go to Añadir teclado, add keyboard, look for it here. And you can use English from the UK or English from the US. That's up to you, it doesn't matter. I have English from the US. Now, if you go to WhatsApp, for example, okay, you can use another one. This is a group that I have with myself, and that's why you can see a recipe from my mom, but don't pay attention to that. What is interesting here is how we can change from English and Spanish. So take a look at this keyboard. Here we have the ñ, this is the Spanish keyboard. And in order to change it, we can press this globe here and put English. You see how the ñ is gone? Now, does this mean that you have to be changing all the time? No, it doesn't. In fact, I recommend you to have always the Spanish one as the default keyboard. We're doing this not to be changing all the time the keyboards, but to add the dictionary, the keyboard dictionary, in our suggested words, and we'll see how this works. So because we have both Spanish and English keyboards, even here, if I don't have the ñ, if I write España, okay, the suggested word comes with an ñ. Or if I write montaña, for example, so this is the English keyboard, but if I am writing in Spanish, the suggested words will be in Spanish, just as if I go to Spanish keyboard and I start writing, for example, in English, yesterday, see? A suggested word in Spanish, in English, excuse me. Yesterday I was going, blah, blah, blah. So what I suggest you do, put both English and Spanish, but always have the Spanish keyboard because it has the ñ. However, if you for some reason have the English one, you can always have the ñ if you press the N a little bit. That's nothing super important, but let's have the Spanish keyword to have the ñ all the time. Now, this is not the important thing. The important thing is the suggestion strip. what is the strip? This. So if I say these 3 words that you can see here, okay, that's the suggestion strip, and that's what we want. I know some people don't like it. I know people get overwhelmed by it, but it will help you with your English. All right. If we go to tools again, to settings, we go to our board, we want to go to text correction, corrección ortográfica. And here there are four settings I want you to have that will help you. First, zanja de sugerencias, the suggestion strip. The first one, in my case, is the first one. You may have another one. This will show you the words that you want. For example, if you're typing and you're typing 4 letters of one word, the strip will tell you, is this the word that you want to write? So you don't need to keep typing, you can just press on the word. This one is optional, but I recommend you having it. That is the next word suggestion. When you finish typing one word, the suggestion won't be about that word, but the following. It will suggest combinations of words. And we will see how this is helpful, okay, or beneficial for you. Definitely, autocorrection here. If you're typing something or you're misspelling something, when you press the space key, the autocorrector will correct it automatically. If this doesn't happen though, you will have the spell check, revisión ortográfica. If you had a lot of misspellings, if you have misspelled a word way too badly, and the autocorrector says like, look, I have no idea what you want to say, at least you will have a blue line under the word that will tell you this is misspelled. All right? So imagine you're talking to your boss by WhatsApp or whatever chat you use. You may want to spell everything right, right? So let's go here. Let's say I'm going to talk with a group of students, okay? So I start typing hell. Do you see there how the suggestion strip says, okay, what is it that you want to say? Hello or help? In my case, it's hello. If you see that all the words look the same, if there is no word with bold letters in negrita, that means that the autocorrector is not going to work for you this time. Okay, so if I go to the following word and I press the space key, it won't change. Hell like that doesn't mean anything, but the autocorrector won't tell you like, okay, I wasn't sure what you wanted to say, so I'm not going to help you in this. If I don't want to keep typing, of course, I can type in the one word and that's it. And I say my students, but instead of students, I type something wrong, for example, like that. Do you see now how this word is in bold letters? Está en negrita. It's bigger, it's thicker. That means that the autocorrector, when you go to the next, when you press the space key, it will change the word for you. So if I press the space key, it changes for me. Okay, but what happens if the word doesn't change for some reason like this and I keep typing? At least you will have the blue line telling you, you spelled this wrong. Go back and change it. You can press on the word and press on the suggested word, and there you have it. Easy. Now, what is the next word suggestion for? Imagine you want to ask, how are you? Okay? But you know what? You're always asking the same question in the same way. You're always asking, how are you? How are you? How are you? And there are multiple ways of saying it. Or maybe you don't know, or maybe you're not even aware that you're repeating all the time the same thing. The next word suggestion will help you with that. I'm not saying that with this you're going to expand your vocabulary or anything like that. No, but it may help you to find other ways of saying things. For example, I'm going to write how in space key, and do you see how the suggestion strip is telling me you can say three things: how much, how are, how about. In my case, I'm going to say how are, and then you can say how are things, how are you, how are they, how are you, and I stop there. But the suggestion strip is telling me you can keep going. You know, you can say how are you feeling, how are you doing, how are you going. So there we have. Or how are you doing today? I didn't even think about that one. There you have it. So these are small things that at first may be overwhelming for some people. Some people hate the suggestions, but when we're learning a language, it is super, super useful. I use it a lot when I'm writing in French, because French conjugation is super difficult, and I can tell you it helps me so much. So you can do it too in English, and I invite you to set your key in English too.